What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm back from vacation. Yeah. Do you like the new setup? Thanks, Sport Show. Yeah. So, yeah, we're back. We're back. Hold on one second. Hold on. That was the wrong thing. All right. We're back. What's up, everybody? So, brand new notebook. Who dis? Brand new notebook. That's who this is. How's everybody doing? Yeah, well, ask the board if you don't think you got in. I mean, you have to also realize, like, the way you feel about a test has like barely any, like, it's hard to say what your result's gonna be based on how you feel. That's all I gotta say. What's up, Joe Mama? If you took it in November, sorry, I don't wish you congrats. Oh my gosh, really? Really, the ELA was harder than SAT reading. Oh my gosh, really? Well, dude, maybe they made it too hard. Like, keep in mind that if they do make it too hard, they'll scale it down. So maybe you just got one of those tests that were really, really hard. Yeah. Overprepared in math? Hopefully that's the case. Yeah, what's up, Nayblade? All right, let me cut this music out a little bit. All right, dudes. So, a couple, thanks, Tejas. A couple, I guess, housekeeping things that I want to talk about before we jump into. Yes, since it is the first stream back, I do have something I want to talk about. But yeah, your ELA wasn't that bad, Daniel. That's good, dude. Yeah, exactly, Rusum. The test doesn't actually determine your intelligence. You know, just like one race doesn't determine your speed. There are things that can change. When are you going to get a new camera? Never. That's I'm never going to get a new camera. Never going to get a new microphone. Never going to get a new camera. Yeah, that happens, Ricky. I don't know why you got caught in the filter there, but yeah, that happens. Okay, so a couple things really quick. So most people for this channel kind of realize that I was doing SHSAT stuff, but that was in October. So now we're done with that. Oh, let me turn on my lights. That's why it looks janky. All right, cool. So now we're done with that. What we're going to be moving to is the SAT. So for all of you who are, currently looking to study for the 9th grade SHSAT, this SAT work will be very, very relevant. And even if your test is a year away, a year and a half, 2 years away, this stuff that we're going to be learning is very, very difficult. So it takes a while to learn. So just keep in mind that if you learn it now, then you'll be good to go. Yeah, as to the board, the fact that you got a hard test is actually really great news. You want a hard test. An easy test is no good for you. Yeah, what's up, Rohan? I'm a new man. Do you guys notice? I'm a new man. I got the chat on the screen. I got music. It was a productive vacay. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be working on SAT. So if that's what you're interested in, stick around. Another housekeeping thing before we get started. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but YouTube has a new terms of service, and there's a brand new law in place where you have to identify if your content is for, quote, made for kids, quote. So what that means is that if it's 12 and under, that's made for kids. And if you don't indicate that it's made for kids, you'll get fined $40,000. But if it's made for kids, then you can't comment, you can't really monetize, you can't, put polls or interact in any way. So I just want to let you guys know that this channel is not for kids. This is not a kid channel. And if you look at my demographics, let me pull it up. Here is my demographics for the people who watch my channel. And guys, most of my viewers are over 18 years old, so I'm not worried about it. Just, most of the people who are studying are 13. If you're 12, you need to get out of here. I'm kicking you out. You gotta get out. I don't want you. If you're 12 years old, don't want you. If you're 18 plus, yes. 13 plus, yes. So yeah, if you're 12, you get out of here. You're now, it's like what's that name of that movie? They're like trying to get the wolf to go back to I don't know. So yeah, it's just like the end of Free Willy. It's like, go, you gotta go. So if you're 12, get out of here. Go watch a PewDiePie video. because I don't want to get fined $40,000. But I want the chat. But I have a feeling everybody's 13 generally. Um, the chat, yes, very good. Thank you, chat. Rusem is 64 years old. That's correct. Yep, get out of here. If you're 12, get out. You need to throw your computer out the window. Get as far away from this content as possible. If the federal government is watching, I don't even want 12-year-olds here. Are you kidding? Only 13 plus. That's all I want. Please don't sue me. Please don't derank me. And as you can see, 99%, 63% of my audience is 18 to 24. So I take these numbers at a face value. There's no way my audience would lie about their age. There's literally no way my audience would lie and say that they're older than they are. So because I know my audience is true and they would never lie about their age, I know I'm good to go. So thank you. Shout out to all my 18-year-olds out there. Definitely shout out to all my 18 plus. Yeah. So okay, cool. So I just had to get that out of the way. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they won't care about me either, Poke, but the wording of the legislation is pretty bad, and they can hit you up for 40 grand for every video that they think. Yeah, great. Kabata's 26. Joe Mama, he's a senior citizen. He's 69 years old. Barry Badman's 65. See, we have an old, mature, you can just tell by the chat that we have a very mature, very old, definitely older chat. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before I get sued, or before whatever, just so everybody know that. Yeah, and actually it does work out. But to get out of here, Wiz, get out. Just get out of here. Yeah, okay, so there's that. So what are we going to talk about today? Trig. Okay, we are going to talk about trig. This is one of those mathematical concepts that are not on the SHSAT. I know people were begging me to do stuff like this, so we're finally going to do this. So yeah. So yeah, we're going to talk about trig today, and what trig is more complex triangle problems. So for example, if you have a right triangle like this, and we know what that angle measurement is, and we know what this side measurement is, if we know those two things, we can actually find all of the angles of the triangle. We can find all the angles, and we can find all the side lengths. And so the way we do this is by that. Sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, so this is kind of what we're going to be dealing with here. As far as the triangle goes, I guess I should have done this better. We'll just do that. Okay, so for this angle, the way that kind of trig works, the way that this kind of works, is that, yeah, exactly, Rusum, SOHCAHTOA. Yeah, I'm going to write that down. That's perfect. Okay, so what sine equals, and if I'm going too fast, you can tell me to slow down. You know what I mean? Isn't there 6 ratio? The only way you know it's easy, hard, or medium, Daniel, is just by asking your friends, honestly. So sine O opposite over hypotenuse. That's what this means up in here. So it's going to be opposite over hypotenuse. This is going to be adjacent. And this is going to be opposite over adjacent. So if you need help remembering these, you can just remember SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Chill. Okay, so this is super important, and the most kind of basic question that they might ask you is kind of something like this. Let's see. No ruler, don't need it. So, yeah. So let's just do this. 3, 4, 5. So this is kind of easy to start. But this, I guess, would be the very first question now that we're back. Based on that right triangle below, what is the value of sine x? Let's get it. Yeah, it could be both, Daniel. It could be a long test, or it could just be a really hard one. Dude, nice, Asta Labor. That's like kung fu stuff. Yeah, I actually don't know if you guys... Yeah, exactly, Tejas. Bang. So yeah, Tejas has 4 over 5. Yeah. Yeah, it is an easy one. Trust me, we are going to get a little bit more complicated. It's going to happen, so just wait. Yeah, exactly, Rusum. Yep, Rusum. All right, yeah, you guys got this. Absolutely. Zach. Kabata. Yeah, you guys caking it. Cool. Joe Mama. All right, so that's a little incorrect, Joe Mama. So let's actually go into it. A lot of people are getting 4 out of 5. River. Venna. Dude, what's up, Venna? Dude, I'm so excited for you guys to go to specialized high schools next year. Yeah, so we'll go into this. So notice that what we need, that's enough. Notice that what we need is sine of x. And if we remember, so that's opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse. So if we take the sine of the angle x, what it will end up equaling is opposite over hypotenuse, this 4 over 5. And that's it. That's this whole thing. If we take the sine of angle measure x into our calculator and push sine and then push whatever number x equals, let's say 40, sine of 40 equals 4 over 5. We'll get 0.8. Okay, so that is the easy. Okay, so let me whip up a problem for you that I think will be a little bit harder. So just like give me a second. Should I put I have like a be right back thing. No, I'll keep this going on. So okay. Um, so this would be actually hold on. This is going to be a messy problem. Sorry for that, but I didn't plan this obviously. So then it would be okay, so it would be f. Oh my gosh, let me just write this all over again. This is so bad. Hold on. Let me just draw it out so I don't have to do it in my head. C, D, E, F, bang, bang, B, C, A. So that's, okay. All right, cool. Let me write this problem again. Hold on, I'll be right back. Dude. Yeah, dude. If anybody calls you a nerd when you're studying, just ask them for French fries. All right, let me actually write this out, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So, bros, check this out. Here is the question that I have for you guys. Here it is. So, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Angle C equals angle E equals 90. Sine of C equals 5 over 12. DE equals 10. And sine of F is also 5 over, actually, that's going to make this 5 over 13. 13. Fabulous. So 5 over 13 and 5 over 13. What is the perimeter of DEF? Let's get it. Yes, you can use a calculator, Venna. Yeah. I'll give you guys like a minute for this one. Drink some soda. Yeah, you need paper. Yeah. I mean, it took me like 3 tries to get this question. Kept messing up, dude. Like, look at all these mess ups. Can someone lend Introvert some paper, please? Just rip it out of the back of your binder or whatever. Dude, minute and a half and no answer. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I cannot draw the triangles. You need to draw the triangles. Yeah, they don't always give you diagrams. The SAT is a little bit harder. The ELA gave you PTSD? Probably. Dude, thank you, Rusum, for sharing your paper. Really appreciate that, my guy. Ooh, 2 minutes and no answer yet. Wow. Wow. Okay, Venna. Venna in the house here. Lynn? Yeah. Yeah. I will teach you guys. I'll give you guys 30 more seconds. Surface area, yes. Rate of change, it depends on what you mean. Do you mean slope? Got Astalabor up in here too. Yeah, dude, you have to eat brain food, my guy. All right, Zach's on it too. Rusum. Wiz jumps on the bandwagon. It's like you know those like movies when you're like chasing a train and you have to like run and jump onto the train. That was Wiz on the bandwagon. It's funny. All right, so that's enough time. So we're gonna go through obviously how to do this. Yeah, this problem's very difficult, but the stuff that we learned in the previous test hold true. And for all of you guys are here, I expect you guys to get a perfect on your SAT. That's all I'm saying. So, like people have suggested before, the smart thing to start with is to draw your diagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw this diagram. Okay, cool. And I just realized that I didn't give you guys enough information. So I'm going to give you guys one more piece of information, and then I'm going to give you guys another minute to see if that changes your answer. And anybody who's here, you can change your answer, but I'm going to give you one more piece of information. And I'm going to say that... Okay, I'm going to give you guys one more minute with this new piece of information. All right, one more minute. We can do solving linear equations. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's okay, Introvert. I don't mind the bandwagon. I don't mind that at all. I'll give you guys another 40 seconds just to see if this changes the way you see the problem, and it should. I think that's necessary information. Yeah, that's good advice, Wiz. Legit. Yeah, dude, the only sorry, that's really funny. What's up, Fall? Yeah, actually, Mr. Beast planted 20 million trees, and I plan on cutting down 20 million trees to make 40 million reams of paper. All right, that's a minute. All right, so let's go into this problem. I think it's lovely. I personally think it's lovely. So we have our triangles A, B, C, because it's smaller, and then we have our triangles D, E, F. And the first piece of information is that we know that there's a 90-degree in here and in here, right? So we also know that this is 10, and we know that they're similar shapes. So this is 5. So we know that the multiplication from one shape to the other is 5. So the next piece of information we get is that sine of C is 5 over 13. So sine of this angle. Remember, sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So if this is 5 over 13, that means our hypotenuse is 13. And I don't know if you guys recognize this common right triangle, a little 5, 12, 13 action for you. How you like that? That's nice, without even knowing the Pythagorean theorem. So yeah. Yeah. C is the opposite of the hypotenuse. No, it's not, because, oh, did I label this no! Why? The very first problem I get back, there's a little mistake in it. That is tragic. All right. It's time for redemption. Shout out to Tejas. For recognizing my mistake in here. Yeah, so, all right. So let me actually just give a kind of a simpler problem just to show you the concept behind it. We have two right triangles here. Let's just label these. Oh my gosh. I'm like Saul all over the place, guys. I give myself a vacation, and then this is what happens. This is why I don't get to go on vacation. That's something I'm not allowed to do. All right, so let's just use the triangles that we had before, and let's talk about these concepts here. All right, so let's just say that this is X, Y, and Z, and this is, let's say, L, M, and N. So if we know that the sine of N equals 5 over 13, we can make that assumption. And if we know that also equals the sine of Z is 5 over 13. So because of that, what we know is that if this sine of Z needs to be 5 over 13, but it's 10 here. So that means that the reduced value is going to be 5 over 13, but this is unreduced. So that 5 becomes a 10, and that 13 becomes a 26, 24, and then we can add them up. So shout out to Tejas. Yeah. Dude, I should just retire. Are you kidding me? Like, I need a redemption, okay? All right, so I need a redemption. I'm going to give myself, you know what? I'm going to give myself a redemption. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. When you're smarter than the tutor. That was you just now. So I'm going to give you guys a different problem, but has the same concepts. I was hoping to save this one for later, but I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. So yeah, the moral of that problem is to never go on vacation. That's what the moral is. All right, let's see. Okay, so here we actually have a really great problem. Before we didn't, but now we do. And then I should probably give you guys one more piece of information. Should I give you guys one? No, I'm not going to give you any more pieces of information. So, what is the length of DE? That's what I want to know. Dude, I would love a Sprite cranberry. Yes, so I am going to answer your question, Fall, I am going to do SHSAT. Starting in March, I'm going to have a separate stream that is just SHSAT. Cool, see you, Bruce. See you, Bruce. 28.5. Or 28 and a third. I'll give you guys like an ooh. We all saw it. We all saw it happen. Yeah, that's actually really true. Sorry. Don't. So the key is to always study and to never take breaks. I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds. Does line BE intersect AC? It does. Well, it doesn't bisect. No, I wouldn't say it bisects it. No. Okay, that should be enough time. So hopefully this problem isn't as destroyed as my problem is, but we will find out. So the first thing that we know is that sine of A is 3 over 5. So sine of this angle is going to equal 3 over 5 once it's reduced. Currently what we have is 6 here over x. So we can find this out pretty easily just by cross multiplying, or just for kind of seeing that x is going to equal 10. So we know that this AE here is 10. Okay, because of that, we can figure out the third side of this triangle. It's just a 3, 4, 5 triangle times 2. So that goes to B. Okay, so that's the first thing we need to understand. The second thing that we have to kind of hit is that the sine of this angle, since they're similar shapes, the sine of angle A will be true for this triangle, and it will be true for this triangle. Okay? So we know that the sine of A is going to have to reduce to 3 over 5. And we know that this here is a 4 and that they're similar, right? So how does this 8 turn into 20, right? This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle times 2. This would be a 3, 4, 5 triangle times 5, right? So since we know that's 20, this here is going to be 15. And this whole circumference, or this whole hypotenuse, is going to be 50. Or no, it'd be times 5. So it'd be 25 total for the entirety of AD. Okay? And that makes sense because sine of A would then be 15 over 25, which reduces to 3/5. So we know that all of this is true. Okay? Yeah, see you, Fall. Good luck focusing. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, these trig problems increase your heart attack levels. Yeah, they're really hard. So, how do I get that 10 and how do I get that 8? You got it, bro. So, first off, we know that the sine of A is 3/5. Okay, so that means the sine of angle A is going to equal the fraction 3 over 5. Now, this is a reduced fraction, obviously, because the sine of A is the same thing as saying opposite over hypotenuse. And so we need to reduce our opposite side and our hypotenuse to equal 3/5. We know our opposite side equals 6, which is 3 times 2. So that means that this needs to be 10, 5 times 2. And once we know two sides of the triangle, it's super easy to get the third using Pythagorean theorem. Hopefully that helps. Okay, cool. What's up, Gamio? Yeah, dude, just check back with me in March, my guy, and I will be doing, yeah. Dude, I see Sammy. What'd you put for your answer? I just didn't see it. I guess I was explaining it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. uh, so yeah, that's how we found that this is. And then the sign of A needs to be true again for this larger triangle. And we know that we're going to be dealing with a similar shape to this triangle. And we know that this side is 20. So we're going to be dealing with a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle times 5. So this will be 3 times 5. And that will be, yeah. So the answer is going to be 25 minus 10, 15. Introvert, killing it. Absolutely killing it. That's really nice. Good job, Introvert. Okay. So that's the SAT, guys. That's SAT work. That's it's not easy. I will say that it is not easy. Let's do one more just to give you guys a redemption on this concept, because I got a redemption earlier. You guys should get a redemption as well. So I'm going to change the orientation of the triangle here. Cute. Okay. Hold on a second. No. And then let's add one more piece of information here. Okay, cool. So here's your redemption, guys. Use your trig. You can do this. All right, so here's the question. Let's get it. Actually, you know what? Let me change this. Let me change one more piece of information here. Let me add that this whole thing is, yeah, let me add that this is, no, you know what? No, I'm not going to add anything. This is SAT time, okay? No more excuses. Oh, thanks. Dude, I'm going to do SAT on, what's up, Study? I'm going to do SAT on this channel. I think I'm going to turn my other channel into a gaming channel. Cool. Good luck, Wiz. Feel better, bro. Yeah, I'm going to do SAT on this channel, so you can keep the link the same. Dude, I actually cannot use, so Sorry says, why don't you just get a SAT book? Oh, we got our first answer in 5. And that's, yeah. So if I buy an SAT book and use their problems, I could get like sued. So I have to think of my own problems so that I don't get sued. Otherwise, that's intellectual property. Otherwise, I would. Otherwise, I would just take a Barron's book and just go through all the problems. It'd be like the easiest thing ever. And that's why I think more people don't do it, actually. All right, I'll give you guys like another 30 seconds on this. It's over 9,000. Okay, Neil, you got it. Just don't be cringe, dude. I got you. All right. Then I got it too. All right. Kabata. All right, I'll give you guys like 15 more seconds. You're looking for OP, my guy. Vena got 5. Got you, Vena. Maybe introvert. Tejas. I got you, Brian. We're going to go over this, my guy. Russo. Nice. You guys are all going to get perfects on the SAT. Okay, cool. That's enough time. And a cat. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's go over this question, how to do it, all that stuff. Hopefully the redemption's real. So cosine of L, that's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay. So we know LP is 5, and the cosine is 5 over 13. So that means LM is 13. Cool. So that's the first piece of information. And notice, they could have just told you that. They could have just said LP is 5, LM is 13, NO is 24. What is the... That's like an SHSAT question. But they couch it in trigonometry to make you label the sides on your own. Because fortunately it worked out that 5 and 13 are our sides. This is reduced. But as we saw in previous problems, this is just the reduced side length. It doesn't necessarily mean these are exactly it, but in this case it is. So we know again this is a 5, 12, 13, and we know that these are similar shapes because 1 and 2 angles are the same, so that means the third angles need to be the same as well. So this 12 turns into a 24. That means this LO is going to turn into a 10. So a lot of people put 10 as an answer. But bruh, I'm just looking for OP. And so if this whole thing is 10, that this guy right here is 5. Ooh. Legends. Absolute legends. Yeah. So yeah, that's how this goes down. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, that can happen. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's how these problems go down. All right, so it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get much harder. So here is the concept that you guys have to know, because we're gonna go through all of trigonometry today, guys. I don't think you guys know this, but this is a pretty exhaustive lesson on trigonometry. So here is the thing that you got to know. And this is a problem. This is probably the most common advanced trigonometry trick they use. So let's say A, B, and C. So let's just say that this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle to make our life easier. Cosine of A equals the sine of C. So first concept, cosine of A is the sine of C, because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that'd be 3/5. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so that would be 3/5. So this is the rule you have to know. Okay, opposite angles in a right triangle, the cosine will equal the sine of that opposite angle. Likewise, this is the second rule, and this is the rule we're going to be testing you guys on. Cosine of A equals sine of 90 minus A, because all of these angles in a right triangle add up to 180, right? So that means these two angles will add up to 90. So let's say that this here just randomly is 40 and this is 50. Yeah, the sine of 90 minus 40 is going to be 50, angle C. So that's how this works out, bro. Yeah. So triangle bisector theorem, you actually don't need to know that for the SAT. So yeah. So this is the rule you guys need to be aware of, because I could just say 90 minus A equals C. So it doesn't matter, right? If the cosine of A equals the sine of 90 minus that a. So that is the concept. Let's do a problem. So first problem, really easy. Okay, kind of simple to start, but I think it's important that we start with these basics and take it slow. Here we have a right triangle. Cosine of A equals 47 over 57. What is sine of 90 minus A? Yeah, Venna. Nice. All right, about 10 more seconds. Huh, got this too. I don't know why you retracted that, Venna. Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, Mason, we're going to be going over it, bro. So if you have any questions, you can always rewind the video and check out this stuff. Yeah, hey, Mason, what's up, man? This is not a trick question. So, guys, what we had just talked about. Where's my thing? Where's my, oh, it's on the other side of this page. So as we talked about, the cosine of one angle equals the sine of the other angle. And the cosine of A equals the sine of that. So if we know that to be sure, then what is this 90 minus A? 90 minus A is going to equal this guy right here. So let's see how that would work for us. So we know that the cosine of A is 47 over 57, and that's adjacent over hypotenuse. You see what I'm saying? This is adjacent over hypotenuse. Let's see what the... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tejas, Kabata. Yeah. So 90 minus A, these two angles have to add up to 90. Angle C plus angle A equals 90. So if I subtract angle A from each side, so saying what is the sine of 90 minus A is the same thing as saying what is the sine of angle C, and that is the opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse. Yeah, 47 over 57. Okay. Really, really nice. Okay, C introvert. It just means 90 degrees minus angle A. That's what that means. Yeah. Okay. So that is a little bit tricky. I catch that. Let me do something a little bit harder. I know that was tricky, but yeah. So let's see. I have this one planned out for you guys. I actually wrote out this problem, so you know it's not going to be janky if I write it out beforehand. Let's see. Something like that. And something like this. Okay, this will be A, and this will be B. Okay, so let's say the cosine of A equals the sine of B. Let me actually make sure that I'm using my notes here, that I'm not just like whipping it out. So give me 1 second. Okay. We're good. So All right, you guys ready for a hard problem? Here is the hard problem. These were problems that I should have, I wanted to do during our SHSAT days, but we just couldn't do it. Okay. And I think I want to make a trigonometry video tomorrow based on the concepts that we work on today. I'm gonna be streaming a lot, bros. So get ready for that. And you guys are gonna seriously score like super high on the SAT, and you won't have to pay a dime. You can just watch these streams. It's a hard question. This is a hard question. I'll give you guys another minute. Confusion. Dude, this is hard. So what you guys are coming up against is the next level. You know, it's like you've beaten the boss that is the SHSAT, and you've picked up the loot, and you have a new sword or whatever, but here's the next step. Negative 14 over 9. Well, yeah. I mean, it could be, right? Maybe I have a typo and we got a negative value for x. Who knows? Not necessarily, sorry. Not necessarily. You can tell B is much bigger than A. That's all I'll really say about that. You got 3.619? That's funny. Is that, huh? Is that Jordan? Yeah. I'm going to be negative 14 over 9. Oh, Tay just got the same thing. Maybe that's what the answer is, guys. Nope, retracted. Sorry, watch out about that, bro. Because A does not equal B. That's, yeah, A does not equal B. That's all I'll say. All right, so I'm going to go over this. That was about 3 minutes. So, guys, keep in mind, I know you just learned these concepts, but keep in mind what we're talking about here, because this is the concept we're kind of going over. We know that first concept that we have to think about is that when cosine A equals cosine or equals the sine of C, that was in this triangle. The cosine of this angle is the same as the sine of this angle. So what does that mean about these two angles? Well, that means that they're in a right triangle together, or at least they can be in a right triangle together. So that's the first thing we need to realize, is that if the cosine of A equals the cosine of B, then that means that they could potentially be the two non-right angles in a right triangle. So we know, based on the previous information, that A plus B equals 90. That's it. Could they have just given you this piece of information instead of cosine A equals sine B? Yeah, they legitimately could just give you this. And this is what would be considered an SHSAT problem. Giving you this extra concept makes the problem an SAT problem, right? So Jordan, you're really close. It's not that the cosine A plus sine B equals 180. It's that A plus B equals 90. That's the key there. So once we have this, I mean, most people in this chat could absolutely destroy the problem at this point because you just substitute in. Collect like terms. Bang. That's the answer. 4. And if we go back in, it works. Because then if x is 4, then this will be an angle of 20. So A will be 20. This will be 60 plus 10. 70, yeah, and they add up to 90. So we're 100% good to go. So we know that x equals 4. Yeah. Are you guys like just face palming? Close enough. Yep. Yeah, I'll give this one to Ha because he was pretty close. With I guess in a test you probably would. So it's 9x minus 14. This is a positive 6x and that's a positive 15x. So if you add them together, you're going to get that 21. That 21. So yeah, that's how this one goes down. Really hard. And I'm definitely going to make, not definitely, I don't want to say that then not do it, but I really want to make a video tomorrow going over these trig concepts. But we're going to push forward, guys. We're going to push forward because I know you guys can do it. Okay? And I'm going to give you guys a redemption on this one. Because as we know, we all need redemption every once in a while, guys. We all need a little redemption here. Okay. Hold on. So that'd be that'd be okay. So, oh, I can't believe I used X. Hold on. I used X twice. That's no good. So let's change this to a G. So it's super obviously different. So cosine of G equals the sine of Z. And then we'll say that this is G that equals this. That's gross. G. So G equals 4x plus 5. Okay, cool. So let me read you this problem. So let me zoom out if I get that. Yeah. All right, cool. So, oops. So guys, here's the problem. Cosine of G equals the sine of Z. G equals 4x plus 5. Z equals 6x minus 15. X equals what? That's what I'm talking about, huh? That is what I'm talking about, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, dude. Wait a minute. Crunchy, what's up? What's up, my guy? Lena? Yeah. Dude, under a minute? 007? That's nice. What's up, agent? Dude, the absolute geniuses in the chat right now. I'm like impressed. Russo? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. I'm actually gonna cut it there because everybody seemed to got it. So, dudes, the redemption is real. Yeah, the redemption's real, guys. Good job, everybody. Kabata, man, I see you there. Kabata, the redemption, it's absolutely real. Absolutely real. Good job. So we're gonna go through this problem. I guess you guys can probably see this answer coming a mile away because you all got it. So G plus Z is going to equal 90 because if the cosine of one angle equals the sine of the other angle, those two angles added up are going to be 90. Yeah. So yeah, this is probably like a 5-day lesson in school. But I figure since it's a video, you guys could always go back and you could always hit me up with email. I'd rather move too fast than too slow. So We know that they're going to equal 90. We add them up. 4x plus 5 plus 6x minus 15 is going to equal that 90. You guessed it. No problem. Chat's absolutely on fire. Okay, so guys, here is the hardest problem of the section, or the session and section. The session section, this is the hardest problem of it. Will I be giving you a redemption? Maybe, who knows? So try to knock this one out of the park as best as you can. This is the culmination. Guys, this is the culmination of your learning, okay? Today, at least. So let's go into it. Here is your question. Actually, let me write it out so it's nice and clean. How would that work? Yeah. Guys, and also, just so you know, before we jump into this, bros, this is the hardest, one of the hardest questions. If you're taking the SAT tomorrow, this would be one of the hardest questions on the SAT. So if you can get this right, that means that you're better and smarter than most people in high school. So just keep that in mind. Here's the question. Cosine of 29 equals the sine of 81 minus 5x. Solve for x, please. Dude, your teacher's on linear equations? Dude, still? Ugh, that's so boring, dude. I mean, we could do linear equations if you have any questions, but yeah. Oh, you're on slope? Nice. Dude. All right. So Huh has the first answer. Sorry has another answer, and they agree. All right. I don't remember what the answer is, so yeah, go figure. Dude, the holiday was so good, Cheetah. It was so good. I wish I should have taken like another 3 weeks, man. I like all I was doing was working while I was on vacay. Kabata. Dude, Kabata, you've been crushing this stream, dude. Yeah, exactly. You got to take your education into your own hands. If your teacher's trash, you got to like study on your own. Russo. Dude, I'm so impressed with the chat. Good job. Veta. Dude, but chat is so smart. I seriously think the geniuses of tomorrow are currently in Tyler Tutor's chat. Like, no lie. I mean, it's crazy how smart you guys are. All right, Crunchy. Got it. Yeah. Dude. Still on proofs? That's whack. Dude, well, you got until March, Cheetah, so sit tight, my guy. You got some time to think about it and to be nervous. All right, so I'll give, yeah, exactly, Tejas. I have 30 more seconds for you guys, just in case. Although I think everybody who's in the chat already answered. Okay, that is time. So wow, I'm blown away. I mean, I'm being pretty legitimate here. I know that everything kind of led up to this, and all the skills kind of led up to this. But dude, show any of your high school friends this problem, and they will be BTFO, most likely. Very difficult. So let's go into this. Let's talk about it. I got my weird dirt-colored pencil ready to rock. So we need to get rid of this cosine, and we need to get rid of this sine pronto, hasta pronto. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to keep the cosine the same. I'm going to change this sign. I'm going to add 0 to it. So 81, I'm going to add 9, but then because of it, I need to subtract 9. This is a pro move, okay? You can add 9 if you subtract 9, because all I did was add 0. Yeah, exactly. The stream is dead, but I mean, compared to the day before the SHSAT when it was like 100 plus, I like knew it would go back down. But the grind, guys, the grind continues, for me at least. Okay, so I've added 9, so I can rewrite this in the form that I want it to be, which is 5x minus 9. And I could rewrite this even to say 90 minus 5x plus 9. And that's what cosine of 29 is. Cool. So now we have our 90 minus a number. And then that means that these are equal. So 29 equals 5x plus 9, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, Tejas. It's like, compared to when it was like busy, this is like nothing. But that's okay, man. I knew it would be take a hit for sure. But this is important. This needs to be public information. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, yeah, you guys do. Yeah, exactly. I've recently had to like turn down clients because I'm too busy. But I will never turn down the stream. I'm here for you guys. So thanks, Crunchy. I appreciate that, my man. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I didn't even have time to write it down. All right, so obviously this is so cake from here. Yeah, x equals 4. The chat's absolutely genius. Wow. That is really good, dudes. That's super, super good. So yeah, bros, that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. There is some other stuff that we can go into. Yeah, public info to 15 people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but dude, what's interesting is a lot of my live streams get a ton of views like a week or two after I do them. Like people go back and watch them. So yeah, that's why a lot of them have like a higher number of views than the people who are like actually there. So yeah, that was trigonometry. Just I guess I can just do a really quick review just so you guys feel confident. Logarithms. Ooh, yeah, we can go into logarithms. Yeah. Those are dude, those are crazy. Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. Sorry. So you can catch me. I'm going to be streaming a lot. As you notice, we're already past the hour and I'm going to keep cruising for a little bit at least. And then I might come back later in the evening. It all depends. I'm just gonna try to be streaming as much as possible in over the winter, just because the spring is looking to be really, really busy. You weren't allowed in SHSAT. Yeah, this is a SAT, so we could talk about it for sure. So let me just do a quick kind of recap of everything we talked about as far as the trig aspect of it goes. The first thing that you have to understand is SOHCAHTOA. You have to understand how it works and how to find the sine of an angle. The second thing that we went over is that how could you say, the sine, cosine, and tangent is always supplied in the reduced form. So just watch out for similar shapes. Okay, that's the second thing that you have to be aware of, is that they're going to give you the sine, cosine, tangent in the reduced form. So it may be similar. It's going to be that ratio, but it could be a similar shape of that. So just keep that in mind. And the third concept that we talk about is the cosine of A equals the sine of 90 minus A. All right, so these are really just the 3 concepts that you have to know. Do you know how to graph a sine, cosine, tangent? No. You know how to recognize the graph, and we probably should go over that eventually, but they don't really have sine, cosine, tangent graphs on the SAT, so you guys are pretty good to go. All right, so Venna asked, you shall learn. All right, so what if you have an equation like this? what do? It's super hard to solve for this x in a variable, right? So what do? You can't take the square root because this could be a 2, it could be a 10, it could be a 50. We don't know. It could be a decimal. So what do we do here? We have to use logarithms. So this is how you set it up. Bang. And just like sine, cosine, and tangent, you have a log button in your calculator, in your TI whatever. So this is the way to figure out what x equals. If you do log base 10 of 81, it will equal your answer. And so you can solve this. This is the log. This is the base 10, based. Is this logarithm based? So log base 10, 10 to the x, right? That makes sense. The base goes down here and the base to the variable. And then we have whatever it equals that variable. So yeah, do you really need that 10 there? Great question, Nomiha. No, you don't, bro. Just like how this, a square root of 16 is assumed, this square root of 16 is assumed to have a 2 right there. Whenever you have the logarithm of something, that's assumed to have a 10 down there, okay? Is there age games in the SAT? Yeah, Venna. So, dude, those age games will never go away. You will always have system of equations. So, yeah, there's going to be age games. So, yeah, just keep in mind. Oh, what's up, Zhao? We just went over trig. So yeah, definitely rewind that if you're interested in learning about trig. So that's how logarithms work. I forget who asked that. Yeah, but that's how this goes down. Oh, what's up, Gray? You guys just got the notification? Well, dude, I'm back. I'm back streaming. It's happening. Dude, yeah, dude, age games will happen. They won't present them as age games. They'll present them as like system of equations. There were none on your SHSAT. That's hilarious with how much we worked on them. I did have some students come back to me and tell me that they got a form of an age game. Yeah, but any of these math, like this logarithm stuff, this can be kind of difficult. Yeah, it can be kind of difficult. Quadratics, we can talk about quadratics. We can do that. Oh, it's rewind. When did they come out with YouTube Rewind? They should just give it to Pewds to do it. Like, why do they keep trying every year? Like last year, it was so bad. Like, it can't be worse. It'll be better. Rewind will be better this year. We'll probably be in it, guys. Yeah, this log stuff. Don't trip over this too much, because this is very, very, very rare on the SAT. So I wouldn't trip too much. But yeah, that exists. What we were working on right before this is trigonometry. Okay, we did not get to. Yeah, really, that's funny, Crunchy. Are you talking about COPPA, like the law that just got passed? That's so funny. Yeah, I know. Do you think they're gonna put me in rewind, guys? Dude, they should put me in rewind. I don't know. I got like 1,000 subs, so if they don't put me in, I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna put in instead. Yeah. That's what they said last year. Yeah. Okay, so quadratics. So, what specifically about quadratics are you curious about, Tejas? That's I guess what I'm interested in. What specifically about it? I'm still so impressed with how good you guys were with the trigonometry work that we did today. That was impressive, even with my redemption. Okay, cool. So that was the trig that we worked on. I'm going to label this trig. SAT. So why am I going over the SAT? Because, I mean, the SHSAT is, will proofs be on the test? No. What's up, Gino? Yeah, proofs will not be on the test. So don't even trip about those. Proofs are just basically like, do you understand the concepts? So the SHSAT, you take it, and depending on your score, you either get in or you got to take it again. With the SAT, it's admissions to college, and they take a bunch of different things. They take your grades, they take your activities and teas, and just generally your life into account, and then they take your SAT score. Each of these is about a third of your college admission. Now, I don't recommend college for everybody. If you can do what you want to do without going to college, do that. Why take out $80,000 to learn something that you could be doing right now? You know what I mean? So like if you want to be an artist, go paint something. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to take out an $80,000 loan to learn to use paintbrushes, or to, you know, if you want to be a rock climber, you don't need to go to college for that. And there's a lot of jobs like that, welders, things like that. Actually, one of my richest friends is a welder. He owns a welding company, and he just went straight into work after high school. So if you are going to college, this is how you do it. And the SAT is a third. Now, most people can't change their lifestyle. You know what I mean? So yeah, colleges don't look at the SAT. Yeah, they look at the SAT, bro. they say they don't look at the SAT. They look at the SAT. My God, like they may not. It used to be a little bit more than a third, maybe, but yeah, they definitely look at that. If you don't have a derivative for, do you mean a determinant for the quadratics? Because you're talking about with derivatives. Derivatives are something slightly different. Graphing, if you don't have a derivative, can you give me an example? So yeah, the SAT is about a third of your college admissions. If you can crush this, dudes, and get decent grades, that's it. You don't need to have been shipwrecked and then claw your way back to America and be like, oh, that's the adversity I overcame. Or you don't have to, you know, be run over by a car and in a coma for 5 years and have to learn to walk again and have like a crazy story for this. You don't have to have that. You just need good grades and you need to crush your SAT, right? So what about the ACT? So the ACT, they also look at, generally, if you want to go to school in the middle of the country, you take the ACT. In my opinion, the ACT is way harder than the SAT. You can finesse the SAT. You cannot finesse the ACT. So just keep that in mind, that you literally cannot finesse the ACT, but you can finesse the SAT. So obviously, which test do I like? Yeah, I like the SAT, the one that we can finesse. Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm doing this, because there's no reason why this information shouldn't be public. So I'm going to continue making videos. Like if you don't have x-intercepts, oh, you're looking for roots? Is that what? You were looking for the root? Or were you looking for the determinant, Tejas? Because if you're looking for zeros or if you're looking for roots, yeah, dude, that's true. ACT, there's a science section, the grammar section is way harder, and the math section is way harder. The math section is 60 minutes and 60 questions. So it's like minute for 60. It's crazy. And they're really hard questions, like the ones we just did. You have to do 60 in a row. Tell us the topics on the SAT. I actually can do that. So what we're going to be dealing with, let's see if I can pull up my folder again. Actually, why did I download this folder? I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. Okay. So just talking about math, just the SAT math in general, because that's what we're going to start with, and then we're going to go into grammar, and we're going to go into reading comprehension. You have to be able to do algebraic manipulation, first and foremost. You have to know geometry, and that's like trig, circles, graphing circles. You have to be a pro at graphing and finding out graphs. Factoring. What else? You have to, I guess this also includes functions. And then very, very difficult inequalities. very, very difficult exponent problems. What else? Very, very difficult line and bar graphs. And I'm going to zoom in on this once I'm done. I don't know how long this list is going to be. Obviously, mean, median, and mode are going to be on the test. Obviously, we're dealing a lot with percentages and dealing a lot with probability. But notice it's very similar to the SHSAT, guys. I'm telling you, they're making the SHSAT more like the SAT. And then, of course, we need to do rates, ratios. Oh my God. Rates, ratios. What else? Am I missing anything? Oh, right. Stats. Yeah, and this is the short list, but this is the comprehensive list. Okay, so I'm back on it. Determinant. Oh, right, the determinant. Well, I can do that. So let's see. Yeah, dude, the graphing is insane. Yeah, ratios, exactly. What about ratios? Yeah. The first like ratios is like I can pull up a problem. Let's see, something like oh, there's a very old problem in the SAT that's like this. It's like cogs in a wheel. What was this? It was like something like this with like cogs, and it wants to know if this is moving at a certain speed, how fast this cog is moving based on the ratio of teeth in the gear. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like super, that's what quote quote ratios are. Yeah. That is a short list. But within each of these, like for example, within graphing, we have graphing functions, we have graphing exponential lines, we have graphing linear and quadratic lines, we have factoring those lines, we have finding the zeros of a graph, we're finding the intersection of graphs, using graphing to solve systems of equations. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct about the b squared minus 4ac, my guy. That's perfect, huh? Yeah. So it's the golden ratio, man. Yeah. So we're going to be grinding. And guys, we just started the trig part of geometry. There's like plenty more that's going to be there. So just keep that in mind as we continue to grind. What about the determinant, Tejas? How to find the determinant or how to find the roots based off the determinant? There's a couple different things that could be kind of rotating around the concept of a determinant. So I guess just whatever. But calculus, dude, lucky for you, calculus is not on the SAT. So you're good, Zal. There's no calculus, just pre-calc. So there's nothing crazy. There's no like college level math. Grinding as in gears. Yeah, that's me, bro. I'm just going to be grinding on this live stream. So if you have any friends that are studying for the SAT, let them know, dude, because it's like just like last season with the SHSAT, it was really slow like this at first, but as it went on, it became crazier and crazier. So if you do have somebody who is interested in studying SAT, let them know now before it gets super insane so they can get their questions in. How to graph when you don't have the determinant. Okay, great question, Tejas. The answer is you always have the determinant. So, for example, what the determinant is, guys, is we're talking about the quadratic formula, which is the way to find the roots of a quadratic equation. So, for example, this is a very classic quadratic equation. This is a root, that is a root. Notice y equals 0. So, for example, this equation would probably be something like x squared plus 1 minus 3. So x squared plus x minus 3 equals y. So that's this equation. That's this equation right here. But when we need to find the roots, we find that y is 0 x squared plus x minus 3 equals 0. And now we can find our roots. We got rid of our y. And to do that, you have to kind of like FOIL or factor. And it's going to be an x. This actually doesn't work out. Let's just do, would this work out? No, it doesn't. So I'll just change this to a 2, make my life easier. So it would be x plus 2, x minus 1 equals 0. And if either of these parentheses equals 0, the whole thing is going to equal 0. So if x equals -2, or if x equals 1, this whole equation is going to equal 0. So there we go. So what Tejas is talking about is the determinant. We're talking about this equation right here, x squared plus x minus 2 equals y. This is in a standard form of a x squared plus bx plus c equals y. So in this instance, our a is 1, our b is 1, and our c is a -2. So now we're working our way up to what the quadratic formula is. It is (b) plus or minus the square root of, I almost messed up, b squared minus 4ac. All right, and that's going to be over 2a. So we can plug in our numbers and get our answer here. So let's go ahead and do that. So (b) would be a -1 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. Cool, and that's all going to be over 2 because a is 1. So scooting down, it's going to be -1 plus or minus the square root of, so this will be -4, -4, +8, so this is going to be a 9 up in here, over 2, and we're going to get our answer because it's going to be 1 plus the square root of 9 over 2, and it's also going to be 1 minus the square root of 9 over 2, because this is 1 plus or minus the square root of 9. Okay. All right, so that is just context for explaining what I'm about to explain next. So here's the quadratic formula. We can solve it. Inside of here, this part of the quadratic formula right here is called the determinant. Notice that it's on the, let me just rewrite it because that's just ugly. This inside of this radical is considered the determinant. It's going to determine if we have 2 roots, 1 root, or no root. Because imagine like this problem, it's obvious that we're going to have 2 roots. We're going to have 1, let me just write this out actually. It's going to be 1 plus 3 over 2 and 1 minus 3 over 2. We're going to get both of our roots because we have a plus this and a minus this. But what if this determinant equals 0? What if b squared minus 4ac equals 0? Well, then it would be (b plus 0 over 2a and (b), it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So this determines how many roots we have. If this number is positive, we have 2 roots. If this number, b squared minus 4ac, is 0, then we have 1 root. If this is a negative answer, this b squared minus 4ac, if that results to be negative, then we have no roots. They're imaginary. And we can go into that for sure. But yeah, so that's why I say you can always graph even if you don't have the determinant. Because even if you're given a question like something like this. Got it in like kind of a vertex form, right? How would you graph this? Well, you could just equal it y and put it in your calculator, or you could put it in standard form. Oh, I guess this would have to be squared. Doi. To make it quadratic. Cool. So I guess this only works out somewhat. But what we get is y equals 2x squared plus 0x minus 19. Now we are in the standard form. Our determinant is b squared minus 4ac. So if we just plug in what we have for b, so b squared is 0 squared minus 4, a is 2, c is negative 19. This is going to be positive, 0 plus, I don't know what this is, 8 times 19. Who's got that? Who even knows? Who even knows what 8 times 19 is? But I'm just going to do 8 times 19 because I don't want to do it. But now it's going to be positive. And because it's positive, we have our determinant. We know we're going to have 2 roots. And based on this, we can just graph this really easily. So if you don't have a determinant, it doesn't really matter. Just put it into standard form and you can rock, man. You can get it. So yeah, that's how that goes down as far as like quadratics or solving quadratics goes. All right, bros. So, like I said, I'm going to be streaming a lot, or at least I'm planning. I say that I'm like, oh, I'm going to be streaming a lot. Yeah, watch, I'm going to stream like just the regular amount. But dudes, I'm telling you, I am going to be streaming this winter. So if you have any questions, even if it's just like a school question and you just don't get it, if you're from the stream, you know how it is. You know I got you. So, dudes, this is yeah, this is gonna be it. I think I'm gonna call it. I think it's gonna be. I think this is it. I think this is it. Little sloppy coming back on my first stream. Of course, I know you guys are never sloppy, stream or no stream. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. But I will be back. I think I'm gonna drop another video tomorrow. Oh, I do have a tutoring set. I'll try to drop a video tomorrow. But I just wanted to say, even though it's not SHSAT stuff, I just wanted to give a big thank you. I know not everybody is here, but I wanted to give a really, really big thank you to